So we're here again outside the Stinky Flip in Scarborough. Couple things that we want to cover today. Number one, how to keep your renovation costs as low as you can. Number two, the kinds of headaches you want to deal with in a flip, whether or not you want to deal with them, things to look out for, some things that might be a little bit easier for you to renovate, keep your costs low. The last thing we want to talk about is how to deal with the stinky house, because when you got people smoking and you got pets crapping in there, that's a lot to deal with, sometimes very difficult to get it out. So let's take a little walk through the property. You can see here just to start off, this floor here, this is the subfloor. Our original plan was to keep the original hardwood and just sand it, refinish it. That way we can keep the cost low. It turns out we didn't see a lot when we had the original owners here. They had stuff all over the place. We couldn't really see the floor. We didn't know how rough a shape it was in. So originally we had thought we could salvage it, but it turns out that we needed to just pull it up. We're gonna lay down some new hardwood. Now, that might not make a lot of sense depending on what kind of market you're in. That's the kind of renovation that you don't really see as much of a return on. The highest returns you're gonna see, number one, painting, number two, bathrooms, number three, kitchen. Those are typically your three best ways of making cash. When you gotta spend money on floors, when you gotta spend money on windows, you're not gonna see the same rates of returns, and sometimes you run into some serious problems. When you go digging around, as soon as you start removing things, you now have to deal with what you may find as a result of it, and that could be more of a nightmare than you're willing to deal with. But in this case, this is what happened to us on this flip. Same story with the stairs over here. We're trying to assess whether or not, we thought originally it was carpeted. We thought we could salvage these steps, but they're all kind of cracked. Some of them are cut short on the sides. Others are left longer. There's not really much we can do to save these stairs, especially when you factor in the cost, the labor involved. It's just better just to replace them in some cases. Now again, if you're in a market where houses are about $1,000, it probably makes no sense to do that. In this case, this is a $500,000 property. If someone's going to spend $700,000, $500,000 on a property, they want to see something decent for it. The bathroom there has been completely gutted. So again, upstairs we had the same issue as downstairs. We thought we could salvage the floors. There was just too much stuff. We couldn't tell what kind of a shape it was in. Just didn't make any sense to spend the money on labor to sand it and refinish it. So we just pulled it all up. We're going to lay down new hardwood. So on that note, the first thing we want to talk about is keeping your costs as low as you can. If you get a professional contractor, the top end dude, to do all of this work, it's gonna kill your renovation budget. There's no way you'd want to do that. And actually what they're gonna do is probably not do it themselves. They're gonna charge you as if they did it themselves, but they're gonna subcontract it. So what you wanna do is, for the demo day, you wanna get cheap labor, people that don't really have to think too much. You show up on site for 2 days, you manage it, make sure they're doing what they should be doing, make sure they don't destroy anything that you can salvage. You wanna manage it, but you don't wanna pay too much for the demo side, because the guys that are skilled, they're gonna cost you much more. You don't want them wasting their time. And you tell them straight up, like, look, this is not the kind of thing that I want you working on, because I wanna pay you for what you're great at. I don't wanna keep you busy and keep you tired for stuff that you don't specialize in, the demo side. So subcontract that out yourself. Get people as cheap as you can who are great to work with, but definitely want to stay on top of them and manage it. So that's that one side. Now again, we talked about floors, talked about windows. Those are two things that you don't want to maybe take on, especially if it's your first flip, because the cost is just too great. It's very difficult to recoup that cash, unless, of course, you're buying $500,000 some odd properties. The last thing is the stench, the stinkiness of it all. The good thing about taking up the floors is it exposes the subfloor here, right? So there's a product that we're gonna use called Kills. It's a kind of like a sealant primer. I'll see if I can find a bin of it. It's around here somewhere. Well, that's another good tip. Keep your work site organized. In this case, we weren't really around for the last few days, so everything's in transition. But anyway, you put the Kills down. Just as you would with any other roller, as if you were just painting. You roll it down, seal in those odors, because when you got potential buyers walking through the property, a stench is a deal killer. And sometimes stuff is just so embedded because the owners have been doing it for years and years, there's no other way to get out. You could scrub it maybe a bit with bleach. It's probably a good idea too, to prep the floor before you do the kills. In the case of a basement, it's the same deal. Actually, over here, there was an area where the previous owners had animals just using the inside of this wall as a litter box. So you can imagine the stench. It's a good thing we don't have smell-o-vision on this thing. But again, you would probably want to spray it down or wipe it down with a bit of bleach, seal it up with the kills. These are things that take up time, so it's extra labor, and but it has to be done. I think it's better to go all out and make sure that you get the, I mean, if you're doing the renovations and you get all new materials, they'll probably cover up the smell, but if you have everything laid down, you can't take it up again, it's too late. Better to be safe than sorry. So that's it. That's kind of a bit of a walkthrough of the property, and hopefully a couple takeaways for you. Again, kind of things you want to focus on your flip: paint, bathroom reno, kitchen reno. Try not to take out walls like we did here. In this case, we had to because the kitchen was just too small. This is a bit more of a gut job. Oh, and there's our contractors. So that's it. Yeah, do those low-cost, high-return renovations. Avoid this big disastrous stuff. Unless you know kind of what you're doing, you can take it on. Keep those labor costs low by hiring out less skilled work for the areas that don't need that skill. And then thirdly, make sure you take care of the stinky house. Put down some kills, scrub things down with bleach. All the best on your endeavor in doing the flips. Trying to take something this big because it's a huge headache. And also, I want to do it. Ciao for now.